All-Star died in a helicopter crash alongside his 13-year-old daughter Gianna in a tragic incident that claimed 9 lives altogether. Kobe also won number 8 earlier in his career, won 5 NBA titles, was a 4-time All-Star MVP, just got pushed to number 4 on the All-Star scorers chart by LeBron James, who is now number 3, has 2 NBA Finals MVP, and won 1 Oscar for his short documentary, Dear Basketball. The one, the only Black Mamba is gone. My name is Dick Jomotuimbo. Welcome to Sports Express, brought to you by MTN. Thanks for joining us on this solemn Monday morning for the world of sport. And we start with a big story: the tragic death of Kobe Bryant and his daughter, alongside 7 others in a helicopter crash in California yesterday. Bode Guntu joins me. Bode had the honor of covering the last 2 NBA finals that Kobe won in 2009 and 2010. Buddy, how do you get your head around this sort of thing?
You can't actually. First you're shocked, and then you are disturbed, and then you wish it's not true.
You wish it's not true.
It wasn't true, and then it really begins to sink in. I was trying to catch up with the news yesterday when it flashed across my phone that Kobe was there. I rushed downstairs. I put on the TV. At first, CNN didn't cover it because they weren't sure. I looked out to the news channels. It wasn't on any of them. And so you are shuffling between social media and TV. And then it came up on CNN. You're like, okay, so it's happening. The reaction started coming in. It was at the point where I learned that one of his daughters was on the aircraft. That I just gave up, because I've watched him and his daughter, and I know the relationship that was going on between them. I just put a picture of the 2009 finals that I took. Just before he was handed the MVP trophy, he had his daughter close to his chest.
Yeah.
I love that picture so much. I took the picture, of course. I just had my own daughter, so I had it out. So I was thinking, okay, this is. So I took the picture, so I know, and I followed the history of how close he's been with his daughter.
Yeah,
so
because this is the only daughter, Gianna, that took after him in playing basketball.
Yeah.
And they were so close because of that bond.
I don't think any of us who covered or who knew Kobe, whether from distance or from watching play basketball, I don't think it's fully sunk in now.
Yeah.
Even from today. That's why yesterday I tweeted that the NBA season is ruined. Because now, everything that goes around the NBA now, from the All-Star weekend that is in a couple of weeks' time, to the finals, the more we watch basketball, the more it's going to seem that actually Kobe is gone. So the impact is not now. Look from today.
It was poignant that it was only on Saturday that LeBron James passed his scoring records, and LeBron James moved to 3rd and he moved to 4th. And his last tweet to LeBron was very poignant as well. Like carried the game forward. It was like a passing of the torch. Now it's sounding very poignant. LeBron James is still playing. What's Kobe's? I know he has a larger than life image, and this is, like you said, going to loom large over the rest of the season. But what would you say is his biggest legacy to the sport?
I think it's his tenacity.
Okay.
There's something
will to win.
His will to win. It's unbelievable. I think that Kobe doesn't understand coming second.
Yeah.
And
it means nothing.
It means nothing, and he doesn't understand that I can't play. If Kobe is not playing, it means there's something terribly wrong.
Seriously wrong.
Just like Michael Jordan, who was his idol, those two guys, the only thing they understand is win. And I think he was talented, but he felt that talent wasn't enough, so he worked hard.
I was going to say that. One of those that showed that talent was not enough.
You couldn't outwork Kobe. He worked harder than everybody else.
So if he lost, you knew that it was not for lack of effort.
Yes, you know that.
All right. So going forward, what do you think? I'm trying to rephrase the question. It was likely going to be on the next list of
Hall of Famers.
Hall of Famers.
It was a showing.
It was a showing.
In
which way do you think the NBA can honor him? His memory. Now that he's gone.
I don't think it's something that can be done once.
Okay.
They have to be creative every year to find a way to honor him. Because he changed the face of basketball by, he declared straight from high school.
Yeah.
That changed
the face.
It changed everything for a lot of people. Because usually to get drafted to the NBA, you got to go play college. 1 year or 2 years. Kobe, out of high school, said, I want to play the NBA. And then his first game, he said, that was easy. I think he scored 90 points. I said, oh, that was easy. At 17. So it changed basketball. So I think for the NBA, they're going to start finding creative ways every All-Star weekend, every NBA Finals. And now that the Lakers are on the ascendancy, it's likely that the Staples Center is going to be a focus for lots of NBA playoffs games. I think every game, they're going to find new ways. For instance, Dallas Mavericks this morning said that they retired the number 24 jersey on his honor. It's dead, done, gone. And then all the games that they play in the NBA today, because of
the games that started before.
Yeah, the number 24. Every team they find a way to value the 21st second shot clock. So I think we're going to find creative ways to remember him.
Tough, very sad story. Tough. We were coming off a tough weekend ourselves.
Oh yeah.
Because Saturday was the Tinubu's second memorial. We were at his gravesite and all of that. I want to use this opportunity to invite you all to the second edition of the Memorial Symposium tomorrow at 11 a.m. at the Tessin Balogun Stadium. Our topic is sports as a tool for youth engagement and social orientation, and our lecturer is Dr. Larry Zamoje, and Godwin Akena is also a contributor. So if you find time to join us as we continue to honor Deji's legacy, we'll be glad to have you. 11 a.m. tomorrow, 28th of January 2020 at the Tessin Balogun Stadium, brought to you by Sport Vision, Lagos State Sports Commission, and the Sports Writers Association of Nigeria, Lagos branch. On that note, let's go to the rest of the world and find out what's happening on international newsroom.
To start off with the Australian Open, where Romanian fourth seed Simona Halep powered into the quarterfinals of the Australian Open, following a straight sets win over the Samaritans of Belgium. The two-time Grand Slam champion needed 1 hour 37 minutes on World Lever Arena to see off Mertens 6-4, 6-4 to reach the quarterfinals, where she will play an counterpart of Estonia. In another result, Spaniard Gabi Muguruza advanced to the last 8 after defeating Dutch 9th seed Kiki Bertens 6-3, 6-3. Over to the gentlemen, Austrian 5th seed Dominic Thiem reached the quarterfinals of the Australian Open for the first time after breezing past Frenchman Guy Monfils. The 26-year-old did not face a single break point as he solved the French 10th seed 6-2, 6-4, 6-4 in 1 hour 50 minutes in dominant fashion. Elsewhere, Swiss legend Roger Federer rallied from his set down to beat Marathon Fucsovics of Hungary 4-6, 6-1, 6-2, 6-2 to reach the last 8 of the Australian Open, where he will face Tennis Sangren of the USA. Finally, to cricket, England are on the verge of a series victory over South Africa after setting the host an unlikely 466 runs in the fourth test in Johannesburg. Batsman Joe Root hit 5 fours and a 6 in his 58, while Mark Wood completed a 5-wicket haul as the home side was bowled out for 183.
Thank you very much. That was international news. We will return with the Nigerian sports scene shortly. Warri Wolves Katsina 1-0 over Ifeanyi Uba. Sunshine 2-2 with Pillars at home. MFM Plateau in Lagos battled to a goalless draw. Same result between Rivers and Wiki in Port Harcourt. Dakada 2-0 over Jigawa. That's from the MPFL. Quickly, Bolo Omani is here. CAF Confederations Cup. Too little, too late for Rangers. Pyramids nil. Rangers won. Terrific result on the road, but it doesn't matter because Al Masry defeated Nadubu 1-0. So Rangers are out despite that gallant, valiant effort. And Pyramids on 12 points. Al Masry on 9. Enyimba though still have a chance despite their home draw. Azani Agada won. Enyimba 1. Parado 0-0 with San Pedro. Bolu Azani Agada on 11 points. Enyimba on 7. Parado on 5. Enyimba need a draw at least, hoping that maybe Parado would not. If Parado lose or draw, Enyimba are through. So great chance for Enyimba, but they could have sealed it yesterday.
Yeah, and they had the better chance yesterday, but they conceded first in the second minute. Fine, they got the goal back like 15 minutes after that, but they could not get the winning goal. Yeah, they need a draw. In Africa, it is head-to-head. So whatever happens in the other game, so long they avoid defeat against San Pedro. But Enyimba recently, they've not been very good on the road. That's my fear and worry for them. But anything other than a loss would definitely take them to the next level. Like Riley said for Rangers, too little, too late for them. If they had won, like Bode kept saying, if they had won the back-to-back game against the weaker opponents in the group, maybe they would have had a better chance.
Okay.
But that's goodbye for them.
The ITTF quickly before you go.
Yeah, Nigeria table tennis team, they can still qualify for the Olympics. This is like final chance for them. The African Championship will hold in Tunisia next month, but this time around is for singles and mixed doubles. If they will get to the final, either lose or win, they will qualify. But for the mixed double, only the winner will represent Africa at the Olympics.
All right, thank you very much, Bolu. That was the Nigerian sports scene. The World Soccer Report is next on Sports Express, brought to you by MTN. Welcome back. It's World Soccer Report on Sports Express, brought to you by MTN. Results of matches played: Ligue 1, Lille nil, PSG 2, Monaco 1, Strasbourg 3, Lyon 3-0 over Toulouse. In the Bundesliga, Bayern 5-0 over Schalke. He can't stop scoring in Haaland. Another 2 goals in Dortmund's 5-1 with Cologne. He's played less than an hour. He has 5 goals. Can you believe that? Frankfurt 2-0 over Leipzig. And in the Serie A, Juventus missed the trick. They lost at Napoli 2-1 because despite Inter's draw 1-1 at home to Cagliari, Inter actually closed the gap to
3 points.
to 3 points now. Because you thought Juventus were going to stretch it to 6, but hey, they lost that game. So Roma won with Lazio in the Rome derby. Roma ending Lazio's winning streak, I think, at 11. So quickly, Yemi, let's talk about that. Great chance for Inter to haul Juve back now.
Yeah, well, we'll have to wait till the game between both of them. But still, there's no guarantee that Inter won't still drop points.
Yeah.
We go to Udinese next, so you really don't know.
But you have to praise Napoli's performance.
Oh, you have to praise. And I'm saying that isn't this strange? And rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. On the day Kobe Bryant dies, Napoli resurrect and find it. Strange weekend, totally.
All right, and in the La Liga, Real Madrid have surged to the top now, all alone, 3 points clear off Barcelona, who lost at Valencia 2-0. Valladolid, Real Madrid winning at Valladolid 1-0. So significant lead.
Significant because this is a Barca side, like I said on Friday, that I don't understand it. I don't know what direction they're heading to. I think with all the passing and the so-called attractive football that's going on, they're still very sterile. They still seem not to understand.
And then
interestingly, I heard
the short honeymoon is over.
I heard the manager took a jab at some of the players for not yet getting.
No, it was really. I watched the game. It was a really, really, very, very limp performance.
I was surprised Valencia won. I just knew they had it.
Valencia thoroughly deserved 2 points. FA Cup, some surprise results. Shrewsbury 2, Liverpool 2. The game from 2 goals down. Man City 4 over Fulham. Hull 1, Chelsea 2. Southampton 1 with Tottenham. Tranmere 0, Man U 6. Surprise in 2 ways.
Big
The number
surprise.
of goals that Man U scored and the
the
people
goal
that scored
scorers.
their first 4 goals. Maguire, Dalot, Lingard, Jones. Wow. All right, we have to go, and let's leave you with a special tribute to Kobe Bryant, the second highest scorer in NBA history, 81 points in one particular game. Only Will Chamberlain, who scored 100, had more in a game. Good night, Kobe.